Welcome back to the channel. This week I want to look at what I think are the best dinosaur scenes from each of the Jurassic movies as part of my ongoing desire to make some videos with a more positive feel about the films as we head towards Rebirth's release. So the main rule for this was that the scene had to primarily be about dinosaurs or other prehistoric animals, or be showing them in a significant way. It could be short or long. This was so difficult, but I think I've come to a list I'm happy with. I think for the first film, there are so many great dinosaur scenes. The introduction of the Brachiosaurus is probably one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. However, for me, I went with Rexy's escape. This part of the film demonstrates even now how the original movies knew how to make its dinosaurs feel threatening and scary. The setting of the whole section, in the dark, during a powerful storm, sets the backdrop perfectly as our cast remains stuck at the Rex paddock. The scene is allowed to reveal itself slowly as we see the missing goat, followed by the sudden drop of the goat onto the roof. The rippling of the water in the cup serving a great addition that would be added to the next films, and we watch the fence wires snap and see this giant predator plow its way through this fence like it's paper before roaring in triumph. Ian and Alan helplessly watching on as the Rex attacks the other Jeep, the kids struggling to stay alive as the Rex systematically destroys the car. Ian's sarcastic smugness drops rather quickly in horror while Alan dives in as our hero of the moment, having to save both kids and become Indiana Jones for a brief time. The whole scene ends with the death of Gennaro, who pays the price for abandoning the kids in the first place. The whole thing is made with perfection, and you wouldn't expect anything less with Spielberg. The use of an actually great looking animatronic made by Stan Winston, accompanied by an environmental setting that helps disguise any imperfections in the CGI, makes for a fantastic demonstration of the capability of CGI in movies, something that Jurassic Park would become famous for. But one of the best things about this scene for me is that there's absolutely no music. Not a single musical beat. The whole scene is just full of natural sounds. The thumping of the Rex, the beat of the rain and the thunder, the Rex roars and breathes. The lack of music in this scene just makes the whole thing feel so much more serious than a lot of music-heavy dinosaur scenes of the later movies. I really don't think I need to explain any more on this one, do I? This was difficult for me because I think there are two great scenes involving dinosaurs here. The attack of the raptors in the long grass, a renowned scene for its horror, and the attack of the Rex on the command vehicles, a long sequence full of action. If I had to pick one, however, I would go with the Rex attack.
Mommy's very angry.
This scene again starts very similar to the scene in Jurassic Park. No music at night with the rain. We have our cast stuck inside the command vehicle as they release a baby T-Rex to its parents. Sarah and Nick seem confident they've done the right thing, only for Ian to realise the parents will be back, and then all hell breaks loose.
Hang on, this is gonna be bad.
The T-Rex roll the trailers over as if they're nothing, demonstrating just how powerful these animals are, before they start pushing the whole thing off the cliff, just to make it clear to Ian, Sarah and Nick how totally pissed off they are. Things start getting better as our hero of the moment, Eddie, screams to the scene in his Mercedes, coming across the trailers hanging off the cliff edge, while inside, Ian, Sarah and Nick struggle to keep a hold on anything hanging over the drop. Sarah barely surviving smashing through the glass rear window. The music now starts here, amping up the moment, much akin to a Bond film as Eddie struggles against the rain to help his friends. The music adds in some new elements to the theme, such as this moment where Eddie finally hooks up the Jeep to the trailer. triumph of the moment is, however, short-lived as the Rex return, with again the music issuing a more menacing tone. Here, Eddie sacrifices his life to save the others, the Rex brutally tearing him in two in one of the most brutal deaths in the whole franchise. The trailers topple over the edge, Ian, Sarah and Nick finally saved by the hands of Roland Tembo. It's a powerful scene that again demonstrates why T-Rex is still the ultimate dinosaur of this franchise, while serving as a great way to kill off a beloved character. It's full of action, but also thrill and fear. The sequel films really should have looked at this as a lesson on how to include over-the-top action while making it feel powerful and stand out. So I would guess most folks would probably pick the Pteranodon scene as one of the best animal scenes of this film, and I agree it's fantastic, and has a lot of the previous Lost World scene in it. But I actually think the best dinosaur scene in this film is probably one of the shortest on this list. It's the scene that plays as our cast head downriver on an old boat, the sun rising over the mountains as we come to a clearing in the forest and pass by a spectacular view on the banks. An arrangement of dinosaurs, while in the background we have that all too familiar Jurassic Park soundtrack, our cast looking on in awe at the sight. Alan manages even a slight smile as we watch these wonderful redesigned Brachiosaurus amongst the other animals. The reason I think this is the best dinosaur scene in a movie with a lot of dinosaur action scenes is that this is the film that started us down the road of dinosaurs being more like kaiju monsters and not animals. This one scene in the movie helps to add just a little bit of that forgotten awe at the dinosaurs that the film has basically missed up to this point, and a little reminder to the audience that these animals are not just hunting, killing machines that just want to murder everything, but are actually genuine animals. With the new trilogy of movies came the greater use of CGI, and a move towards putting more dinosaurs on screen more of the time. As a result, the sequel trilogy is full of scenes that could be used in this list. For Jurassic World, we have a lot of potential choices, but for me, I think there's only one choice. The Mosasaurus breaching jump scene has become probably the most famous part of this movie. For me, I think it's the best scene as it demonstrates that the park is not merely a working Jurassic Park, but they have actually exceeded that park now with this mosasaur. We have had dinosaurs, we have had pterosaurs, now we have a magical size changing mosasaur. Seriously though, this is just a very cinematic moment, with this huge sea creature bursting out of the water to snap the great white, and while this animal is stupidly oversized just for effect, it's still a great scene that highlights the power of the mosasaur and foreshadows its later attack on the Indominus. Fallen Kingdom has plenty of animal and dinosaur scenes in it, however, most of these are for me pointless action sequences that do very little but just serve as methods to chase the cast from one scene to another. The only animal scene in this movie for me that strikes the tone of the original is oddly enough another mosasaur scene, this time at the start of the film as we watch the small fragile submarine sneak into the Jurassic World lagoon to gather DNA from the dead Indominus Rex, all the while seeing glimpses of the mosasaur around them. We then see that huge mouth just behind the submarine before it cuts away to watch their lights go out. The use of the lighting in this scene, not just for the mosasaur but also the T-Rex which goes on to attack the chopper, all which also leads to another spectacular mosasaur leap, works really well. It's funny that so far a lot of these great scenes take place at night. Dominion is jammed full of dinosaur scenes. It's just a shame almost all are again those pointless action sequences designed to chase the cast around. Dominion is probably the worst offender for the misuse of animals, with scenes like the Quetz attack and Pyroraptor attack merely used as a way of getting another animal into the already bloated film. There was, however, one scene that finally felt like Jurassic Park, and that was the legendary scene with the Freddy Krueger-clawed Therizinosaurus. This tense scene is everything that modern Jurassic movies seem to have left behind. It was slow, suspenseful, and quiet. The dinosaur wasn't acting as some murder turkey. The single cast member, in this case Claire, felt like she was in legitimate danger, and she acted with legitimate fear. The whole scene is really tense as we watch her struggle to crawl away from this blinded animal, its echolocation clicks an unnerving background sound. Her survival comes as an act of sheer will, holding her breath underwater until the animal leaves. There's no music or excessive musical stings, it's just her survival. Most people point to Claire running away from the Rex in her high heels as one of her best moments, but for me it was this tense crawl from what is probably one of the most terrifying and weird looking dinosaurs that takes the crown. So that was the best dinosaur or prehistoric animal scene in the Jurassic movies. Let me know in the comments what your favourite dinosaur scenes are, and next time I'll be looking at the most standout deaths in the movies, so subscribe to get notified of that. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.